And this is why you need to clean your brake components. The brake pad will glide a lot smoother and your brake system will operate nicely. Doing some maintenance on GX470 today. We're gonna clean the brakes. Gotta remove the brake caliper, lubricate the slider pins, and also clean up all of the metal hardware to make sure everything is functioning properly. So let me get set up here, and we'll start with removing these 17mm caliper bolts, and then when you torque them back up, they're about 20 pound-feet of torque. That's all we need to do. Then we'll lift it up, remove the pads, clean out the hardware, should be good to go. Need to lubricate the sliding pins. This one also. Safely move the caliper out of the way and make sure that there's no tension on the brake line. So I just lean it on top here. Remove the brake pads. This one moves freely. So does this one. Still have plenty of life left on this one. Same thing with this one. Compare them, make sure that the wear is even, that one is not worn more than the other. That would indicate that your caliper is sticking, or the piston in the caliper. So far, so good. Now we just need to remove the metal hardware where the brake pad glides. So we got this one, need to clean that up. Same thing on this side. Clean that up and re-grease it. And then there's some on the bottom here too. Kind of grimy, so let's clean it up with a wire brush. Clean up the areas where they sit. Relubricate these glide pins and reassemble. And this is why you need to clean your brake components. So this is the one that I took off. So the brake pad is gliding along this surface here, and it's quite dirty. And then of course this is the one I just used the wire brush real quick and kind of cleaned that up. So the brake pad will glide a lot smoother and your brake system will operate nicely. Got these all cleaned up. These are not perfect, but they're much cleaner than what they were before. I'm just gonna reinstall these. Pop right in the groove again. Like so, looking good. And then same one on the other side there too. And we're going to reinstall these. Same thing on the other side. Reinstall the brake pads. Now, these contact surfaces could be lubricated with some caliper grease. In fact, I'm going to put a little dab on that where the piston, as it comes in and contacts the brake pad. I'm just going to put a little dab of grease right along the contact point here. Then maybe a little bit of grease here where it glides. Not too much, a little bit goes a long way. And we go ahead and reinstall the pad. Same thing on the other side. Metal to metal contact. And what I'm using here is the brake grease and caliper. Now, that's not to be confused with silicone paste that you would use on your slider pins. These will need to be lubricated with this silicone paste. Make sure that grease does not get on the braking contact surface, or you're kind of defeating the purpose of having effective brakes. Now onto the slider pin. Again, not a lot. You just want to put a little bit to make sure it glides nicely. Test it. That's what you want to see, just a little bit of spring back. Excellent. Okay, we'll do the same thing with the upper one. Now I'm going to use my brake spreader tool that a good friend of mine bought for me many years ago, probably about 15 years or more. Still using it. It's a great tool. And what it does is it helps me to compress the piston. Because even though I'm not replacing my brake pads, it'll make it slide a little bit easier if I just gently force that in. Boom. Now on to lubricating this guy. Again, you don't need a lot. Flexibility of this brake line is somewhat limited. There we go. Slid that in. Goes right over. Again, you get a nice return action here. And these bolts will get torqued to 20 foot-pounds. They don't need a lot of torque. All right, torque that up and we're good. This is where we're at. We got them all cleaned up. Hardware looks nice and clean. I've got a little bit of grease in the contact points here. These brakes are good to go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.